Arrests and fines, that's what police are telling protesters to expect if they attend the unauthorised Black Lives Matter protest in Sydney tonight.
New South Wales Police has also been successful in blocking a refugee protest from going ahead tomorrow, with the Supreme Court ruling the Sydney event posed too great a risk to the public health. Joining us now is Assistant Police Commissioner Mick Willing from New South Wales Police. Thanks for your time this morning. So they say they're going to turn up anyway. Will you arrest them?
Well, that's a distinct possibility, Ali. At the end of the day, my message to those who want to attend these protests is very clear. Don't turn up. You know, a lot of people have gone through a lot of restrictions over the last few months, and we just need to move through this as a community together. So the health orders are very clear, and we'll be enforcing them.
What is a violation then, Assistant Commissioner? Can you run us through the logistics for police? Because it's a very, very difficult job at the best of times, and it's going to be difficult for you today. So if someone's in violation of the law, what does that look like, and how do they get fined?
Well, I'll take a step back, Carl, and in essence, we've got a lot of ability in policing public demonstrations and public assemblies. We have over 800 a year alone in the city. In relation to this particular matter, they are both unauthorised protests. So the provisions of the Summary Offences Act don't apply. So people aren't protected from move-on directions, obstructing traffic and those sorts of things. So we'll be issuing move-on directions. Hopefully we won't get to the point where we have to make arrests, but we are prepared to do so if necessary. Now, obviously, you have the overlay of the public health orders, so you know, people are liable to up to fines of $1,000 for breaching those public health orders, and we don't want to have to go down that track, but again, we are prepared to if necessary. My message is really clear: don't turn up.
Are you expecting trouble?
I'm hoping and appealing to the good nature of Sydney-siders and those who are passionate about the issues that are currently being debated not to turn up. We've all got our views on the issues that are being debated around the world globally at the moment, but we're in a difficult time and we just need to move through this period together as a community and get to the other side of it.
From a policing perspective, though, you have to be planning for whatever might eventuate. What does that look like?
Oh, look, we've got sufficient resources to deal with any situation, I can assure you of that. Obviously, we saw last weekend a large rally. Police were able to handle that really well. I'm very proud of the efforts of the police officers involved in that, who displayed a lot of resilience and a lot of patience dealing with an extremely large crowd. But they're skilled and will be able to deal with anything, I can assure you.
So how is it that that protest was allowed to go ahead last week, but the ones this week are being blocked?
Well, last week's protest, first of all, started off as an unauthorised protest, but of course the Court of Appeal came back just prior to the official start of that protest, overturning that decision. And we respect the decisions of the court, we all have to, but we were flexible enough to change our operational plans and allow that to happen. So again, that was a decision of the court and we abided by that decision.
Assistant Commissioner, it's been a rough couple of weeks, hasn't it? And for the force as well. There was a story, I think, in the Daily Telegraph a couple of days ago with a young constable in Moree who had her police vehicle attacked with a rock. I mean, when it gets to this point, it's just too far.
Well, it's completely unacceptable. To use the well-used phrase, police aren't punching bags. We are not going to tolerate that sort of behaviour from people. Police officers have families to go home to as well, and at the end of the day, they need to be kept safe. They do a very hard job and they do it really well.
Do you think that this issue has moved? I mean, there's so much angst in the community at the moment with the pandemic, with Black Lives Matter, what's happening to refugees. There is so much angst. People, of course, have lost their jobs and their livelihood. Do you think these protests that we're seeing, and certainly the one we're going to see this weekend, if it goes ahead, has actually moved beyond what the actual causes are that they're protesting?
Oh, look, that could be the case. I mean, I'll leave it to others to analyse this, post these events occurring. But as I said, we facilitate, many hundreds of protests a year of all shapes and sizes within the city. Last year we saw a protest in relation to a range of matters that was up to 40,000 people. So, again, we're in a difficult time. I ask that as a community we move through it together, and by all means, once we get through this current period with the COVID threat, I'm sure that people will get back to protesting about the issues that mean the most to them in a normal way.
Your final message to anyone going out there protesting today?
Yeah, very simple, Carl. Don't turn up. Do not turn up.
Assistant Commissioner Mick Willing, appreciate your time as always. You're a busy man. Thank you.